Lovely cushioned header. But Gerrard! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
Yes, guys, welcome back to Two Reds podcast. I'm your host, Scott Nico. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, James O.B. O'Brien, to go over Liverpool 2, Lille 1, as we top the Champions League table as well as the Premier League table. Obi, we're going to be here for 25 minutes to half an hour. I promise you I'm not going to say anything negative about this Liverpool squad. I'm not even talking about we probably need a left back. I'm not going to talk about Nunes being 26 and not knowing what the offside trap is. This is going to be half an hour of pure positive vibes, because God knows that Arne Slot deserves this. This squad deserves this. What a night. It couldn't have gone much better after the late Darwin Nunes show at Brentford on Saturday afternoon, to turn up today to win 7 out of 7, to beat a Lille team that were unbeaten in 21 games, their longest run in the history of Lille Football Club. We've give minutes to the likes of Elliott, to Endo, 90 minutes for Kwanzaa, 90 minutes for Nunes. Have I already sent Elliott? 90 minutes for Simicas.
Bradley as well, yeah.
We're flexing our 20-man squad to absolute perfection. We've topped the table, 21 points out of 21 for an easier passage to the final. Obviously, there's a lot of work between then and now, but we play one of the bottom teams that finish like 23rd or 24th. And then we're at home in the second leg of every round from now until the final. I do believe, someone may correct me if I'm wrong. What a time to be a Liverpool fan, Obi.
Absolutely. And there's a couple of different types of performances where you think that's a performance of champions, and that's a performance of a really top team, and that is finding a way to win a game in injury time, or maybe scoring a couple of goals. And then the other one is the professionalism that we saw tonight of, although it was a tight scoreline and they come back to 1-1, never really in doubt, Scott. And that's huge. That's huge. We looked in control of the game. They got lucky. Teams get lucky. And we just fought back and went, nah, you're not doing that. And it's just that level of 20-odd first-team footballers all wanting to play in a team. The way that we mix and match, and it doesn't seem to drop the standard of the game at points as well. So when Elliott and McAllister come on at half-time, there was no change. It almost was like, I thought Elliott in particular was fantastic in that second half, deserved his goal. Really links up well, wins the ball back, never lets people settle on the ball when we're out of possession. Worked so hard for the team, loved it. And did you like the little celebration where he did the old, and he went, I'm not going anywhere, boys. I'll stay here and I'll fight for my place. And I love that. I love that attitude.
That's what you need, isn't it? If you're going to be successful this season, and everything is shaping up for an extremely successful season, we could be in the League Cup final in a week or two's time. Still in the FA Cup, obviously, it's only just started. We've got a plum draw in the next round. We're 7 out of 7 in the Champions League. I mean, Arne Slot, let's just give it to him. The guy has come in. I'm not going to go over the top and call him a genius or say he's on par with Pep or Klopp just yet, but what he's done coming in right now, we've got to give him absolutely all the plaudits in the world. I might even go as far as saying, will anyone ever, if this Champions League format stays, will anyone ever win 7 out of 7?
Well, it's not only that. We've won 7 out of 7. We've topped a group of how many people? How many teams are there?
Yeah.
What is it?
32, is it?
32 or 30? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But we're top, and there's still a game to go, and we've already won it. We've already finished top, so ultimately we know what draw we've got. Like I said to you just before we come on air, get the under-16s out, get the under-18s out, whatever you can play in the Champions League, give the boys their day. Is the last game, is it Paris?
PSV.
Oh, it's PSV. So it's PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah.
Is that away, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just let them kids go and have a little bit of fun. So you like to see your Dans, etc., because you can play a lot of them, as I understand it, because they come up through the ranks of the club, so they don't necessarily need to be registered.
They're on the bench tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Get as many of them on as you can. Doesn't matter if we lose that game. Just go and have fun with it. Another opportunity for people to rest, and then just we haven't got to go through the playoff game, which is really, really important as well. And then just make sure the players are ready for this run-in, and let's see if we can focus on the league and the Champions League. And if anything else comes along, all the better for it. But let's keep them two as our focus and make sure we can go as deep as we can in the Champions League. And obviously we make sure we get ourselves over the line in the league, because there's a real opportunity for us to do so.
Absolutely. Our main man, onto the ball legend, Travis, is in the comments. Yes, brother.
Hi, Trav.
Competing on all fronts. Absolutely. But the main thing tonight will be, obviously, we've rested Kanate. Grav only had half, which is great. Little half swan song for him, straight off at half-time. Gakpo's had a full night off. Salah, he played the whole night. I'm not sure what the thinking was there. I think I definitely would have took him off. But as you say, play all the youngsters that we can in this last game against PSV. Top spot is already secure. And then every other team has got to do a two-legged affair. Whoever finished from 9th to 24th, is it something like that? 25th?
Yeah, something mad
so
like that, yeah.
We get 2 games off where we can really put our feet up. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think our next Champions League game after PSV, of course, won't be until late March. So we can really focus on the league now and start hopefully getting some even more daylight between us and whoever's in second. I mean, that changes all the time. Forest, Arsenal, Newcastle are about there, Chelsea. But yeah, back to tonight. I mean, the performance, again, Virgil van Dijk played the full 90, but we were never in any trouble, really. As I said at the top of the show, it was almost the perfect night.
It was. And like you said, you've got players who looked really on it tonight. It almost looked like a really good training session for them at points. So Diaz looked sharp. I thought Salah got a goal and he hadn't scored for 400 odd minutes, which is absolutely remarkable for him. And he's obviously broke that duck. He was unlucky not to get that second one. The keeper touched that around the post, and it got given as a goal kick, but the keeper touched that. I thought he looked a threat all night. He looked a lot more lively, and it was against a good team as well. So for me, it's about
unbeaten in 12.
Yeah. It's just about managing these games. Now. We've got the rearranged game against Everton coming up in February, as I understand it. So we've just got to make sure we fit that in, because obviously, because it's rearranged, that'll be outside of a round of games for everybody. That'll be massive. That'll be huge, because if we can get that over the line, I think that breaks the hearts of everybody else around us. Or we don't lose that game.
We've got Ipswich at home. And then I'm sure it's the week after, it's the second leg of the Milk Cup, Haribo Cup. Against
I love that you call it the Milk Cup. It makes me laugh every time.
Then obviously we've got these tricky games away to Bournemouth and away to Everton. And then, as you say, PSV's a dead rubber, but if we could be sitting pretty by then, and it's feet up. But yeah, I mean, tonight there was a few eyebrows raised with how strong the Arne Slot did go. Time will tell if it's going to be a genius move. Travis just put in the comments, who can you draw in the next round? Anyone from the bottom half. So pretty much we've been on it all day, Trav, looking at it. And obviously whoever finishes 9th to 24th, is it? Or something like that. They go into a 2-legged playoff, but we basically play the bottom teams of that draw, if that makes sense. Look online, it's all mapped out. But the best thing is that in the next round, quarterfinal, semi-final, will be at Anfield on the second leg of every single round. I mean, that's huge for us.
It does
we all
feel
know what
big.
Anfield means, don't we, Obi?
It does indeed, and it feels big for the team and for the club to have that second leg at home. I think it's a massive advantage for us as a club. We've always done well with that type of fixture when we're playing the second leg at home, and we all know them big European nights. It does seem to do something special to other teams as well. and unnerve them. So it's massive, and it gives us a real opportunity to get our feet up. I mean, the only challenge is going to be if we do overturn that deficit against Tottenham in the Littlewoods Cup semi-final, we can then go on, and we've got to play that game at a weekend, and I think potentially we'll miss a round of games then and have to play a rearranged fixture at that point as well, which could mean that we've got a particularly busy April/May. And looking at the May fixtures, it does look really, really hard.
Yeah. But every month looks hard. I feel like every time I look at the fixtures, we've got 9 games every month.
Yeah.
I mean, that absolutely is pretty much a game every 3 or 4 days. But it's where you want to be, of course. If you're going to have a successful season, that's what happens when you're competing on all fronts.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got 2 or 3 players in every position. We know that. We've got players who can be utility players. So recently we've seen Endo play centre-back. We've seen Grav play centre-back at points. We've seen the rotation of the midfield. So we've seen in the second half we saw Slobberslide play a bit further back. And they let Elliott play a little bit further forward. And we saw that today. But so there is the opportunity to mix things up. I think the key is always is we've probably got 2 players, maybe 3 that we can't afford to get injured at this point, and that would be Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and possibly Alisson as well, although Kelleher is a very, very good replacement.
Yeah, he has. But I think the main thing from tonight, and then obviously off the back of the Brentford game, I'll add Núñez into that, is that it feels like there's players getting plenty of confidence. As I said, Kwanzaa tonight would have done him the world of good. I know we conceded, which was kind of more on Simicast, but Kwanzaa's had a good showing. Endo's got lots of minutes, and I thought he was fantastic when he was on. He was all over the park. He got chopped in half about 3 times. I thought Endo's going to come off with a broken leg soon. He always puts his body on the line. Núñez after Brentford got another 90 minutes. He's going to be buzzing around. Harvey Elliott getting on the score sheet. It won't do him any harm. He's been definitely kind of he has been a bit part player. I was about to say that does him a disservice, but he was really heavily relied upon and called upon by Klopp last season, especially off the bench. But this season his involvement has been marginal. I know that was due to his broken ankle or whatever it was. He missed a few months. But if we got players like Elliott coming in and getting goals and building confidence, can come in at any point and he'll get games for sure. If we're going for 4 trophies, he could potentially start the Rumbelows Cup. I'm gonna raise you the Rumbelows Cup to go with the Littlewoods Cup.
I think you've done me there. I think you've done me.
But look, Trav just said the league UCL double would be a dream for Slot, but it's very possible. How possible is it, OB? I mean, once we get into the second round, if we're playing one of them bottom clubs and we get into the quarterfinal, and it's a favourable. That's the thing. The favourable draws keep coming because we're finished first. Like whoever finished second is on the other side of the draw now.
Yeah, the reality is, and this is where it does become more difficult with that particular format, is it's all about the draw. And let's bear in mind that teams like Real Madrid, PSG are all in that mix to potentially end up having to play them. I know we beat Real Madrid in earlier on in the competition, but having to play them in a knockout over 2 legs is a different kettle of fish. And teams like that, it's very, very possible we'll be playing somebody like that, because the best teams in Europe, with the exception of ourselves, probably aren't sitting towards the top of that league at the moment. So it's maybe not as favourable. I would say we focus on the league. We utilise the opportunity that we've got in the Champions League to rest players, and then we make the right rotations at the right point, depending on who we're facing, and then see how it goes. The trouble with the cup competition, you don't know who you're going to get, and it can pan out bad for you when you least expect it. So I would say let's focus on the league. Let's see what happens in the Champions League, and let's just keep ticking over and see where we get to. I would say, looking at the fixtures we've got in particularly in May, I think we'll be doing very, very well to get both over the line. I think it would be a remarkable achievement. It's not that it's not possible. I just think it's a little bit too much for this squad. I really do.
Oh, don't say that, Obi. We're busy dreaming.
Not
just in a big double, but a quadruple.
Yeah. If you give me the league right now, I'd be happy. And if you said, right, you don't win anything else. So for me, the priority is the league. I think Slot's got that in his sights, but everything else is about, let's just see the way it runs. Let's just see how it plays out. Let's just see what the timing's like. One game at a time, tick it over, keep an eye on what else is going on, and utilise the time where we've got downtime or we've got the opportunity to rest a few players and picking fixtures where you can rest a couple. I do think Gakpo needed a break. I think that there's an argument to say probably Gravenberch needs a bit of a break. So hooking him at halftime was good. Trav's absolutely right. We're picking up a few knocks now. We are, but that was always going to happen. And for me, it's about managing game time. So over the next sort of 4-6 weeks, it's making sure we don't pick up any major injuries, or if we do, they're minimalised. Yeah. And just making sure that we're not putting players in games they don't need to be in for longer than they need to be in them.
I mean, obviously, Diogo Jota is the one that comes to mind, picking up a few knocks. He's out injured again. And the thing with Diogo Jota, he's got no, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not robust, is he? So he has a little knock and he's normally out for a month. So that's an absolute nightmare, really. Kanate's kind of the same, but it looks like he's nursing a bit of a knock. He went on video with TNT Sports saying that he's rushed his comeback from his knee injury back. He's not 100%. But again, he's been rested tonight. But yeah, like you say, time is going to tell if Slot's played a masterstroke here by going so strong in the 7 games to finish top of the league, secure that top position. Because like you say, it could be anyone down there. And unless I'm wrong, we could pretty much face an English team in the next round, couldn't we, if the draw falls that way? That's the thing about this league format. There's no keeping countries, teams from the same country away from each other anymore.
I think under the old format, you used to be able to keep away to the last 8
quarters.
But now I don't think that's in play. I mean, to be honest, if we had to play another English team, I'm not sure I'd be any more worried than playing some of the other teams that are down there. I'd say probably City and Real Madrid are the 2 that you don't want to end up facing. If anybody in the whole competition, probably Bayern Munich as well, but I don't think we will. I'm not really that bothered about anybody else. And that probably says a lot about where the squad is and where the team is at the moment. But providing we have a decent run of not picking up injuries and we continue to see what we've seen so far this season, give me anybody, because we've got a second leg at Anfield and they will hate that more than we will.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got to play every game. We didn't come on after the Brentford game, Obi. Where were you? It's like one of them when Princess Diana died. Everyone remembers where they were. Where were you on Saturday at 4:52?
In my living room, jumping up and down like a maniac. What about yourself?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Hayley was cooking dinner and absolutely jumped out of her skin when I hit the roof in the living room. It was just, I mean, look, if that's all Darwin Núñez is good for this season, and if that's the highlight of his season, you'd take it all day long, wouldn't you? Because that was just an incredible end. It was a deserved win. Let's be real, it was a deserved win, but Brentford were really stubborn. We were struggling to break them down. They had a couple of chances themselves, but didn't really test us. You could tell they were happy with the 0-0. Other teams saying like Forest, but they're dangerous on the break. I didn't feel like Brentford really were looking to be too adventurous, and I just thought we need to break these down and get the goal, which we did. But the best bit about it was when I read on Twitter there was moans and groans around the Emirates as the Arsenal players were warming up. All the moans and groans when they heard it filter through that we'd gone 1-0 up and then 2-0 up. It's looking really promising in the league, Obi.
It is looking promising. It's still only mid-January, so we've got to be a little bit tempered. But I would say that all of the indications are that we're on a good run. We're not quite as far ahead as we were the last time. We ended up storming the league. However, it does have them vibes of 1920. Let's just hope we don't have a worldwide pandemic for many different reasons. But it does have that feeling. Last time we won the league, we were in pinstripes as well when I pointed that out to you. And it's happening again. And I do think that we are looking particularly strong, and we look controlled in football games as well. I thought we did enough to win against Brentford. 37 shots on target, 47 shots or something, or attempts on goal, and we scored with 36 and 37. That just shows persistence for me. That's just
the
pure
highest record since Opta-Stats began for an away team.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just shows persistence. It shows that we're doing the right things and we're creating. And sometimes it takes a while to break some of these decent teams down. I mean, Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, they're all very, very good teams, and you can't underestimate any of them. You've got to take them for what they are, go up against them and beat them, you know, and ultimately that sort of result decides who wins the league. And for me, huge result, huge moment, took the wind out of Arsenal's sails. Even at 2-0 up, they let Villa come back, and you could just see them wobbling all over the place. And I think the whole momentum of the title race took a seismic shift on Saturday night, and Liverpool have just got to keep that going into the next couple of weekends.
It really did feel like something on Saturday night, didn't it? Like something had just shifted the belief, certainly in our Liverpool group chat, online Twitter. It just feels like this was going to be pivotal.
Absolutely.
Not just Liverpool winning late, but obviously Arsenal dropping, Newcastle dropping. It's like anytime there's a bit of a sniff that we might be wobbling or dropping, the other teams drop as well.
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
win that game in hand, 1-9 clear, and it is time to start dreaming. It's going to take a huge bottle job for us to lose this now.
Yeah,
I don't mind going on record and saying that.
I think for me, 4 points out of Forest away this season and Brentford away is seismic. And get them two fixtures out of the way, and to come away with 4 points was actually huge. I thought we deserved to beat Forest. We were unlucky not to get over the line. They played well, but we were really, really unlucky not to get it over the line. So we could have been in an even stronger position, but we give what Arsenal thought was a sniff by supposedly dropping 2 points. Actually turns out to be, I think, a good comeback by Liverpool to make sure we got that over the line against Brentford, and we've made sure that we're in a strong position now. We've got 4 points. They got 4 points for the last two games. They were at home in both of their games. We were away in both of our games, and that must be a real momentum boosting situation for the dressing room, and it must be taking the wind out of the opposition's sails, because they'll be thinking this is gone in their heads, deep down. They'll keep saying it's not, but I think they'll know. And every time something goes wrong on the football pitch, they'll start feeling sorry for themselves. You can just sense it.
Well, the Arsenal fan TV, they definitely think it's over, don't they? Watching their videos, they're talking about next season, rebuilding, Arteta out, Kroenke, where's the money? Kroenke, we need a striker. It's unbelievable when I watch it. Unbelievably good for us as Liverpool fans, of course.
It's hilarious TV. I don't get how it helps the team or helps the fan base, but it is absolutely brilliant TV. And just watching them, their heads falling off because life doesn't go for them, and trying to invent all sorts of weird stories about how it wasn't a handball for the winner when it clearly come off his hand.
That was mad, wasn't it?
It just makes me laugh. It's like almost like they don't want to see what's in front of them. The fact of the matter is, Arteta's took them backwards in the last 18 months, 2 years. They're not as good as they were 2 years ago. I thought they were a really good team, really good footballing team 2 years ago. They've gone backwards slightly. We came up on the wings last year and then drifted off a little bit because we didn't have what it takes to get over the line. However, we've come back a lot stronger this year under new management who's slightly freshened up the system, and we've pushed on. City have dropped off, and we're the big daddies now. We're the boys in town.
Yes,
that's the way it is.
That's all you ever want. When City have a little blip and fall off, you just pray that your team is there to capitalise just like we are, and it is absolutely amazing. Just a last word, Obi. I just want your thoughts on this Trent thing. Arne Slot in the interview on TNT with Rio Ferdinand. he said that Trent can be lazy in his defending at times. Definitely against Manchester United, showcased that laziness or something. I couldn't believe he said it, but to me, that just confirms that Trent is gone. Arne Slot knows he's gone, and he's thinking, I'm just going to tell it how it is. I ain't got to be worried about what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think with the whole Trent situation, I think it's probably been in the pipeline for a while. I think Slot may have even known when he come into the job that the likelihood was that Trent was making noises it was going to leave. He was probably debriefed that, and it was a case of managing this last year. I think he's been fantastic going forward at points. He's showcased himself, so he's probably sealed the move to Real Madrid. And in the background, I hope Slot's thinking, what do I want going forward? I want some competition in there, though. I don't just want us to just go to Bradley and that be it. And with a backup of someone like Gomez, we need to really think about what we're doing in there, put some competition in. I do think we need a new left back as well. And I think tonight highlighted that a little bit. There's an argument to say Tsimikas is ahead of Robertson now, which is quite a surprise. But we definitely need to look at both the full-back positions in the summer. Probably need another centre-back as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the marketplace. Who's out? I mean, there's rumours that he's talking about getting rid of Nunes, talking about getting rid of Elliott. And these are the sort of names that have been banded around. There's also noises that he's not particularly keen on Kwanzaa. But if that's the case, they'll be shipped out and hopefully will replace real quality in there. Personally, I'd like to see Elliott stay because I think he adds something to the team. Particularly good sub as well. But we'll see because you can't really argue with Slot. Slot's done an amazing job so far. So whatever he says is right by me.
Wherever he says goes. Do you think it's going to get to the stage where he? Well, yeah, I was going to say drop. Yeah, it is drop. I think it's going to get to the stage where we get to the business end of the season where you think, I know Trent's going. Not that I don't trust him, but I'm going to be looking more towards Bradley and Gomez. Simple as I know they're committed to the team. The club.
It's possible. It's very possible.
I know I would.
I don't know. Away from home in a big game, there's an argument to say that you should probably go with someone like Gomez or Bradley anyway, a little bit more defensive-minded, although Bradley does make some long busting runs. Gomez is a little bit more controlled as a right back. But the creativity's there as well. So Trent loves creating a goal, making that pass, etc. And I think against the bigger teams, I think it's easier for him to do that because the teams push higher. So he has the opportunity to put them under pressure. So it'll be about Slot and the tactics of who he's up against and what he decides to do on a day and what we need out of it. But yeah, it's a tough one because I still think Trent Alexander-Arnold's a great player. But
yeah, of course he is. But I think it might just be like, well, Slot look at him and think, I can't trust that your head is on it.
Yeah, and you do get a bit of that from
your heart's elsewhere. And that's the last thing Trent needs when he's getting levelled at him, that he can be lazy with his defending.
Yeah.
Right, OB, your team is top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League. We're on for a quadruple. How you feeling? You enjoying it? You enjoying the ride under Arne Slot?
Yeah, I am. I'd like to say, let's just get the league in play. Let's just do that, and everything else that comes along is nice. But this is some debut season, and I did not see this coming, Scott. As you know,
I don't think anyone did.
I'd almost wrote this transition off, knowing historically what we've seen with other managers when they've come in. The last time a manager's done so well when they've come in that I could remember was when Ranieri came in and took over from Nigel Pearson. Is the last one that I can remember.
Yeah.
And he just basically took his team and went and won the league, and it's got remnants of that, hasn't it, really? So
Antonio Conte, did he do that at Chelsea? I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
started
he did.
Playing
he come
three
in
at the back.
Yeah, he did. After he got beat away to Arsenal, and he changed the system, and then they went on a massive winning run and won 17 in a bounce or something. Yeah. These type of moments do happen. It's just I didn't expect it to happen to us, and so easily as well.
Love it. Guys, if you made it this far. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Me and Obi will be back for loads more Liverpool content, match previews, match reactions. Obi, you'll never walk alone. Thanks, brother.
Get
See
in
you
there.
on the next one.
Cheers.
Up the
See you
Reds.
later, Scott. Come on, the Reds.
Mella, lovely cushioned header. But Gerrard!